Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, my love, Kristen. I hopped on pretty early. I know I set the time for this quite late, but that's just because I don't know when I can actually get out here. But we're in Niagara Falls. Right now we're looking at the Horseshoe Falls, which might lovingly be known as the Canadian Falls, and we'll go over and see the other ones soon. But thank you for coming in. I've been lucky enough to be able to get out the last couple of Friday nights and get a few streams going. We got a look at both the Niagara Falls and Clifton Hill. I've been very lucky that the weather's been spectacular each time. But I wanted to build up a little bit of activity because I've got something special starting on this channel next Friday night. So I hope you'll join me for that as well. And if you're brand new here, I hope you'll subscribe and hit that like. It really does help. And leave me a comment if you have anything to share about possible experience that you've had here in Niagara Falls, or if it's on your bucket list of things to do. Jaden, my dear friend, good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. Rich Cat Ranch, thank you for coming in again. I always appreciate this extra support. And again, we're just looking at the Niagara Falls. They've got a light show going on now. I'm a little bit earlier than I was the last couple of weeks as well, so maybe we'll see a little bit of different stuff while we're here. I'll pan around to the American Falls in a quick second. You'll get an idea of what we're looking at. When I move the other way, you've got a place called Table Rock over there in the distance that has a gift shop and restaurant and this and that. We've been in there for streams as well. And as I look around, you see a lot of the hotels. Some of them are tough to see just because the trees have matured so much in the area. That's a Skylon Tower. They've got a revolving restaurant up there as well. And then off in the distance where you see that brightly lit Ferris wheel, that's Clifton Hill. And we'll think about going over there later. The Rainbow Bridge is off in the distance there. That's where we actually cross over into the United States. And when I look at the American Falls there, we're actually looking at Niagara Falls, New York. So the brightly lit building at the edge of the falls there is Casino Niagara. I've been lucky to be over there several times. Just have another look. You're getting an idea of just how dark it really is here. I believe it's just after 11 o'clock p.m. in Ontario, Canada. We'll get some more looks at these. You have to excuse my shaky gimbal. The thing is acting up again with the motors drifting on their own there. But we'll take a walk and we'll see what's going on. You can see lots of people still out. It's not like a holiday weekend or anything like that, but lots and lots of people enjoying the views and I'm sure each other's company and everything else. But the weather's just spectacular and it's finally cooled down a little bit. I've been whining about the heat wave that we've been going through for a while. It's nice that that's settled down. I'm not sure where we are right now for temperature, but my guess would be somewhere around 20, 21 degrees, something like that. I think it got as high as 26 or 27 today, but I could be mistaken about that as well. You see lots of people enjoying the views. They got a lot of these things here too. If you wanted to take a closer look, you can put a Canadian $2 coin in that machine and watch for a little while. There's a little bit of a closer look at the American Falls. We still got a long way to go, so we'll get closer. Hope Bus, good to see you here. Thank you for coming back in. It's Vicky and Terry, a couple of dear friends from just about a half an hour away. We will contact you in the next day or two to make an official arrangement to get over there. Rena R, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming back in. That's the Canadian Falls again. I wish my gimbal wasn't acting up so much. I don't know if there's anything I can do to stabilize it. can try. Pardon my shaky movements there. Hot tubs are always fun in small doses, I think. If I look across the street here, so this is fairly well lit where we are, and this is because I guess there's so much traffic. There's a street crossing here, and across the way is a restaurant and some gift shops and things like that. Most of where we're going to walk right this minute and in the coming 20 minutes or so is very dark, not very well lit at all. My assumption is that that's so that the focus is really put on both waterfalls and then fireworks as well. They have fireworks every day at 10 o'clock apparently. I haven't been able to get out early enough to see those yet this year. I'm hoping maybe somehow I'll catch them one day, but for the last couple of Fridays we've just been out late like this, and again that's just because I've got something else starting on this channel next week, so I just wanted to build up a little bit of consistency here. Rambling with the Brums, good to see you in the house. Another fellow Canadian here, that's Scott. He's from closer to Ottawa, about 6 hours away. There's the American Falls, and as he's saying, there's nothing like the Canadian Falls. It's the one that I imagine is more famous, right, because of its horseshoe shape. You've seen this in a lot of movies and television shows and things. Mark Binsett is going to be in the house this week. I have to be honest, I don't know if there's any chance I'm going to be able to meet up this time. Mark is from Windsor and comes by with the family every year to visit for several days. Last year we were able to meet up in Niagara on the Lake, which is the next city north that I talk about all the time, and that was really cool. My work schedule has me outdoors Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and often a little too distant to be able to rush back, but we'll see what happens. So before I get behind some trees and stuff like that right now, you're gonna see off in the distance under the Rainbow Bridge is a little dock there, and that's where the Maid of the Mist sits. Farther to the right, more looking like it's beside the American Falls, is more of a lookout, and they've got a few of those around. And then on the left-hand side, more closer to the center of the screen, you see the docks for the Canadian version of the Maid of the Mist that we call the Hornblower. And it does the same thing. The boats actually take turns going in towards the falls. They get really, really close, like dangerously close, right? They know what they're doing, of course, but it's looks like a lot of fun. We'll try to get out there and actually do that excursion one of these days. So now that we've been out a few weeks in a row, you get to see the little differences in the number of people that are out, and we're just a few minutes earlier today, maybe half an hour or so. If you're wondering about the picture and the stability and stuff like that, I'm using an iPhone 12 mini to film on a Osmo Mobile 4 gimbal, which I absolutely love. This thing is spectacular. Hope Bus is way too busy. She's got all kinds of stuff going on all the time. We're lucky enough to go and meet them in a month and a half ago now, and we're going to head back there as quick as we can. But They've always got a lot going on. They gave us our first 2 plants. Kristen and I live in a small apartment, so we weren't going to get into growing anything. But we talk about it now because we've got so many friends with YouTube channels, especially in the farming, gardening, homesteading community of YouTubers. So, you know, you talk about motivation, you talk about, oh, maybe someday wouldn't it be nice? And, you know, I do that all the time. But when we went up to visit Hope Bus, they actually gave us a basil plant and a tomato plant. And the basil, Kristen's told me that she's constantly taken at least 10 leaves a week off of that thing. And the tomatoes are starting to grow as well, which is really cool. And it's nice when you can, you know, especially make friends, but then have them go even farther than motivation with encouragement, but actually, you know, putting things kind of right in front of you and saying, here you go, you're on. And Kristen's looking after those. Scratch and PPA, thank you for coming in. Look back at the other falls. Sometimes they change the light shows, so you see different colors at the same time, and then once in a while they put them together. Look at that mist. Today's an interesting day because the mist from the Canadian Falls is heading straight up into the air. When the wind blows in different directions, it can send that mist right over the streets and things like that. You can actually feel it from a couple of kilometers away. Sometimes you're driving, you just all of a sudden get this mist on your window. You might mistake it for a sun shower, but it's actually from all the way over here. But tonight, there's really not much. There's just the tiniest breeze. So that mist is really looking spectacular right now. Crescent Art Designs from Toronto. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Yes, Hope Bus. You know, I was streaming once. Kristen was telling me it was just the mist, and I still insisted that it had to be raining because it couldn't possibly be downpour like that, but it certainly is. Yeah, rambling with the Brums. We're getting our start. Kristen is looking after our tomato plant and our basil plant that Hope Bus gave us, and you know, hopefully that will be the beginning of something that we'll do all the time from now on. It's a great idea. We've got this situation in our apartment complex where they've got ticks on the lawn, so we haven't actually used the front lawn in a couple of years. It's really sad. Barbecue's rusted to you know what, and you know, we just don't feel like putting anything out there. What we're worried about is bringing the ticks inside, and then, you know, we got cats and this and that, but, you know, Kristen's seen them firsthand, so I don't really want to get into too much of that, but we're able to keep our couple of plants indoors for now, and they are flourishing. So thank you everybody for coming in. Jeremy D-Day, good to see you here. I know a lot of my friends are in the chat from my other channel, and you hear some of the same stories. So I can't remember for the life of me what I've told on which channel and stuff like that. So I know you're going to hear a lot of the same stuff. I try to be mindful of which channel I'm on, but I slip as much as everybody else. You can hear that water. Look at that. They really get into some elaborate patterns with these light shows on the falls. Is tarragon the one that is yellow and makes everything yellow? I forgot. See, Kristen is the kind of person who everything... Oh, here, let me show you something. This is the American colors. And then over on the Canadian Falls, they're doing the Canadian colors. So they change all this up like all night. It goes on for hours and hours and hours. Oh, turmeric, yes. Kristen is one of these people who can cook, and everything that she does is great. Like, let's say restaurant quality, if you want to put it that way. Whereas somebody like me, I can barely cook to save my life. I can, but it's chicken, fish, or whatever, 45 minutes in the oven and throw some kind of canned sauce on top of it, right? And but Kristen understands the different spices and herbs and how they work together, and you know, she can imagine how things are going to taste before she does it, and she experiments in the kitchen all the time. Whereas somebody like me, I've got a lot to learn, so it'd be wonderful to have a lot of that stuff of our own, though. Get an idea of how dark it is, like I was talking about here. Because you can see the falls so bright. And look at this, like what a view, right? If you were just gonna go out at night or in the morning or in the day, whatever, for a walk, you know, you can imagine the view all the time. And I've done streams here in all 4 seasons and every time of the day, so you can get an idea of the different views and things like that. But like, look at that, right? With the moon right over the falls. That's something, right? And then you throw in some fireworks there as well. Thank you for the share. Jeremy D-Day, Crocheting with Leanne, good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. Keep walking, but I'll give you an idea as to how far we've gone away from those Canadian falls now. It doesn't take long. I walk so fast, I wish I wouldn't. I've done it my whole life. I try to think about it. And then here is where I can give you a better look at the dock there. And those are the boats that are the Hornblower. That is the Canadian version of the Maid of the Mist that's so popular. 2 Pineapples, good to see you here. Rich New Design, good to see you in the house as well. Thank you for coming in. I am a speed walker. I've got to learn to just chill. You know, I could be extending a stream from an hour to 2 hours if I just take it easy, but I don't know what it is, my whole life. The funny thing is too, so you might find this ridiculous, right, and not very interesting, but anyway, the way that God has blessed me, my torso is longer than my legs, just, you know, by an inch or whatever, right? But it causes me, like, when I didn't even realize it was a problem, because I played a few sports when I was a kid, and I did not too badly, and baseball and hockey and this and that, but when my son was growing up, he played soccer. And the poor kid wanted to, you know, play so bad, but he just couldn't run as fast as everybody else. He's like a spitting image of me, and his legs are a little bit shorter. So we're not short, it's just that our legs. So I don't know, maybe that's what causes me to walk so fast all the time. I don't know. Hopefully one of these days I'll learn to take it a little easier. One less monster a day. Actually, yeah, it's been double monster day almost every day. Crescent's Art Design's gonna put more videos up. That's cool. They do a mix on their channel of different things, but they put a little bit of Toronto. And I think they're probably not too far from where I grew up, so I recognize some of the things that they post, as well as the art that they put up all the time. So this is the zip line tower, and we got a chance to actually take the zip line. You'll have to forgive me for those of you who've heard the story 100 times, but I'm always wondering if there's new people who are going to catch a replay, or you know, watching and not chatting and things like that. But we did the zip line, and they don't let you take a camera, right? Most of, you know, at least Canada or Ontario aren't going to let you do that. Canada's Wonderland, this and that. You can't take phones on the rides, but they do let you wear a GoPro. So I did a stream where we came to take the zip line, and I had to kind of cut the area where we took the zip line down the course here, or whatever you want to call it. But then because I had the GoPro, I was able to cut that into a separate video, so you can find that. It's only a couple minutes long. If you can see that platform, I'll try to get it in about the center of the screen there. That's where the zip line goes to. If I remember right, it takes about 45 seconds. It's not the fastest zip line in the world, but the view you can't beat, right? And they run that pretty late. I'm not sure what time they finish. I tried to get Nightbot to do the weather, and I can't get that thing for everything. I try to do it the way I want, so I just set it to Ontario, Canada, and that's gonna have to do. But a lot of people will come in different live streams and ask. Now you can see what the city of Niagara Falls looks like, or at least the hotels and larger buildings in the background. While a lot of things were closed in the last 2 to 2.5 years, a lot of those hotels, when they weren't full, were changing their lights to have the word hope running down the side of the buildings. I thought that was nice, and a lot of them had hearts on them. I think I had somebody who almost said hello, but they caught me with the camera. They go on the other way, that's all right. In this area where I am, which is at the base of a popular area called Clifton Hill, which we're going to look at in a second, there's a restaurant and some gift shops, and you get this incredible look of the falls, kind of just like what we were seeing a moment ago. They keep that blocked off at night, but I've done lots of streams in the day where you get to go down there. We went through the gift shop and had a peek in the restaurant and everything else. I think we actually streamed while we were eating there. Now we're gonna head into an area where there's a lot of activity. Good Times Homestead, good to see you here. First Floor Audio is in the house. Sorry I missed you there. Oh, thank you so much for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. Those help, of course. If anybody hasn't done it, even I have to be reminded when I'm on a phone especially. What I haven't seen all of this year yet is my friend Gypsy Luciano. And he is somebody who performs right up the street here. We'll pass the area. It won't be out now because it's so late. But I don't know whether he's been out. He started his own YouTube channel too. You don't see a lot of performers out here like buskers. Toronto, they have them all over the place. I'm getting an idea of how many people are still out. Closing in on midnight soon. But Clifton Hill stays in full force. Oh, can you not see me? Is something up? Something shouldn't be up. I got a decent enough phone planned. Should be catching everything. Oh, look at that. Isn't that excellent? I don't know what I can do about that, to be honest with you. I've never seen anything like that before. Now I see it. I just looked at another phone. You can't see that anyway. Oh, goodness. Hopefully it'll pick up. Somebody find a way to interfere with my stream or something. Interesting. Got a problem with my other phone too. I use one to carry, which is the phone that I use all the time. That's how I read the chat. And then I got one that I film with here. And the one in which I read the chat, the charging port, I think has had it now. I couldn't charge it all day today. I had to get a wireless charger to get it done. And I'll have to back that up and get it fixed. Kadam Vlogs, good to see you here. And we're in Echo too, that's great. I don't think I can turn it off and on without it breaking the stream. If I don't have signal now, it's not coming because I'm in the good area here. All right, we'll try. We'll try to do something. If we lose the stream, we'll try to come back. But thank you everybody for hanging out if it doesn't work.